Episode 6 of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is one that I was really interested in because this is the first time in the series that we have a traditional fairy tale being incorporated into the narrative. This is, of course, Donald and the Beanstalk, which is a variation on Jack and the Beanstalk. And it begins with Donald approaching Mickey and saying, I've traded I've traded my pet chicken for some magic beans. And I love the way Donald says magic beans. It's just so entertaining. And these beans, of course, grow into a beanstalk and they climb up the beanstalk. And, well, I'm not going to say what they find, but they're kind of going after Donald's pet chicken. But there is, of course, a larger-than-life character at the top. I won't say any more about this individual, but what I really loved about this... it's the giant. What I really loved about the giant is that the animation of the giant is very similar, but CGI'd, to the animation of the giant in I believe a Mickey Mouse cartoon. That's basically a variation of a giant of a beanstalk. I'm misremembering this, and if I'd thought about this before speaking, I would have Googled it. But basically, there is a classic Disney cartoon with a giant, and the character design is very, very similar. And I like that they've kind of kept the animation style very similar, but of course CGI'd and much more contemporary in design. I thought it was very cute. The giant character was a lot softer in nature than I expected. He wasn't scary. He had a reason for wanting this chicken, which I thought was pretty lovely and pretty sweet, and actually gave him a much more complex personality. It's pretty good fun. In terms of the educational aspect, there are some educational moments. It's not as blatant as some others, but we have a lot of rhythm. For example, when they jump up the beanstalk, they have to go, small, small, large, and jump up the branches. And on the way back down, it's large, small, small. I'm misremembering it, but it's all about repetition in the pattern and getting children to copy and repeat and say things along at the same time, which is always obviously a really great benefit. I really enjoyed it. It's good fun. It's a really nice way to introduce a child to the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, or thereabouts, if they're not familiar with the tale. And of course, as always, we have the usual fabulous voice cast doing really great work. Allwine voices Mickey Mouse, who sounds exactly like Mickey Mouse. Tony Anselmo as Donald Duck. As I've said before, this Donald Duck is a bit more articulate than other versions of Donald Duck, but that's really important because the general target audience is not me. I am 30 years old, big Disney fan, but not the target age. But it's important for the young viewer to be able to actually understand what Donald's saying, and it makes it a bit easier for them to actually engage with the character, rather than if he was quacking the way he normally does. Dee Bradley Baker voices Boo Boo Chicken and Bill Farmer as Goofy. We also have Will Ryan as Willie the Giant. Sherie Pollack directs this particular story. Sherie Pollack has directed some pretty great episodes of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, as well as a whole host of other really brilliant kids shows, and some that I haven't seen that I may have to check out. Did you know there was a Hey Arnold film called Hey Arnold the Jungle Movie? And also an animated series of Jumanji from the 90s. I didn't know that. Donald and the Beanstalk, I had quite high expectations for it, was very keen to see how they would take this classic story and turn it into something that was suitable for Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And I have to say, it worked really well.